What tiny thing annoys you? Those fake download buttons that make me have to reinstall my grandma's OS every other month. Install an ad blocker next time, it removes the fake buttons. She learned how to turn it off because it ruins her favorite websites by blocking the ads that she likes. For me, it's when you ask someone to close the door as they're leaving the room, but they leave it open just a crack instead. So basically everyone's mom? Holy crap, this is too real. Do all hospitals all over the world issue a handbook to new moms or something? Why is this a standard? Slow people walking in groups that take the whole sidewalk. Oh, the horror. Neanderthals. Well, there's a term that I'll be using for the rest of my life. People who play games on their phones at full volume, or people who text with the texting sounds still on, or people who have their sound turned up so far up that you can hear the person they're talking to. Autoplay videos with the volume on regular web pages, not video service sites, obviously. Nah, in fact, any website with autoplay music or sound, it is insane. I love these browsers that have the little speaker icon now. Makes it easier to spot the culprit. Do you know what would be better? Browsers that block any audio from a web page until you allow it. When shoppers hog the middle of the grocery aisle, oblivious to others trying to pass by as they look over items on the shelves. It's worse when they turn their cart sideways too. Jesus! Had this happen the other day, but they weren't even looking at anything. They were just talking, and so I moved their cart to get by and they said, "Excuse you?" And already being annoyed at people for doing this, I just blurted out, "Well, get out of the way." When people do not wait for others to disembark on any form of transport, attempting to exit the train doors and being hit back by some impatient twat is the most irritating thing. Oh my god. I called an elevator yesterday and 3 guys in suits were inside when it opened. They were chatting, looking at each other. I waited a couple of seconds and then stepped in. The dude chatting stepped forward and put his hand on my shoulder, stopping me. "Why don't you wait for us to get off before you get on?" Okay? Ruined my day. I did wait. Why don't you move your ass instead of peeing about on the elevator? When you lean forward in a car and the seatbelt catches, so you lean back to reset it and the same thing happens. But hey, at least I know they work. You'll be thankful for those when you get rear-ended in a car park at a walking pace, firing the seatbelt pre-tensioner for whatever reason, pulling you so far back into your seat that you're no longer driving the car, you are the car. To understand the car, you must be one with the car, even if it means getting rear-ended. When my earphones get snatched by something, instant rage. Oh man, that's reason number 1 why I bought a pair of wireless headphones. It's not just annoying, it really hurts too. One of the worst things about headphone wire rage is you don't even know who or what to be mad at. The crap just happens in a flash. Sitting at a red light when I'm the only one at the intersection. What about when you pull up to a stop sign that someone has already stopped at, 4-way, and they try to let you go first to be nice? You had the right of way, buddy. If you had just gone, we would have all departed sooner. People who break the road rules just to be nice? Screw you, asshole, you're confusing everyone. Headers on websites that follow you down the page. This is less because of the header itself and more because they universally become gigantic when zooming the page. And I have bad eyes, so I rarely have my browser on less than 150%, usually 170%. And then the goddamn header frequently takes up practically a full 1/4 to a 1/3 of my browser window. Goddamn floating headers. Mobile websites. I load a site and it appears instantly. I see the text, the images, everything. Then that crap disappears and starts loading slowly piece by piece. And once you've got to that piece of text that made you scroll through the website, forget about that sucker. The page jumps to the top because it has loaded some button or ad or something. Infuriating. Or when you're trying to click a link and the website header graphic loads and pushes everything down a bit and you hit the banner for the new Clash of Clans clone. When someone doesn't let you or others finish what they were saying. The only friend I have in my classes does this a lot. It'll be like, "Forget what anyone else is saying, I have something better." This is one of my biggest pet peeves. Cutting me off a couple of seconds into what I'm saying is not a big deal. Honest mistake, really. I do it myself. But when people cut me off when I'm in the middle of saying something, I get real mad, guys. Especially if they're not saying anything related to what I was trying to say and are speaking like they didn't even know what I was talking about. There's a few people in my life like this. And what makes it even more frustrating is when we're debating something and I'm trying to say the same thing they are, but they don't realize that because I never get a complete thought out. Then when I say, yeah, I agree, they act like they've convinced me of their point, and I just give up. Cigarette butts on the ground in a smoking area. The ashtray is right there. In my neighborhood, there's a lot of mulch in front of the apartment buildings, and there are signs telling people not to toss their cigarette butts into the mulch because it'll start a fire, but people still do it. When you accidentally close the music app. When people, my mom for example, use way too many words to get across a point or question, etc. 911 call taker/dispatcher here. It's amazing how people still do this even when calling 911 for serious emergencies, like heart attacks, car accidents, etc. Caller. So I was getting coffee and trying to pay with the exact change when the cashier was being rude, and my brother Brian was trying to get his order in at the same time, and I was telling him, Sir, we are on a 911 line. What is the emergency? Oh, right, the cafe is on fire. Yeah, I know how you feel. Not as urgent, but that makes it easier for people to ramble. I'm the operations manager for a public transit agency, and sometimes I'll cover dispatch, and I'll have someone call in like this. Them. So the other day I had gone out to eat with my brother. He used to live in Missouri, but he moved back here about 3 years ago. His son just turned 5, and he wanted to be closer to the grandparents because of how much he loved being with them at Christmas. And he found this nice house over off Terry Street. Me. So are you wanting to set up pickup at Terry Street? Them. Oh no, not at all. So we were having lunch at that new Mediterranean place. It's alright, but I don't know how long it'll last. I don't think people like ordering food that has a name that's hard for them to say. Like, I can say falafel, but people that aren't me have a hard time with it, you know? And it's a little expensive, and I can't really justify going there very often. Me. Weren't you wanting to schedule a pickup? Them. Oh, no, I saw bus XYZ on the north side of town today run someone off the road. Me. That's not possible. That bus isn't in service today. Them. Well, you're a liar. Me. We're done here. Using Reddit on my mobile and trying to click a link, but end up minimizing that comment, so I gotta go in with my sausage fingers and click on it, but accidentally minimize a response. Happened to be twice on this thread alone. Stepping in a puddle of water in my kitchen or bathroom right after I put on fresh, clean socks. My roommate always wears shoes around the house and doesn't seem to understand how to use sinks, so water is always all over everything, but it never bothers him because he's wearing shoes. It makes me want to strangle him when I step in a puddle with my socks on. Come to think of it, people who wear shoes in the house piss me off. When you're eating and your fork decides that it wants to make an awfully high-pitched screech when it barely grazes the plate. When you're eating, you pull the fork out as you bite, but you're too slow and you bite the tips of the prongs. It just feels wrong. Any sticker that you can't peel off in one piece. Absolutely infuriating. Or when the sticker comes off, but the industrial-grade NASA-certified glue that they used leaves a residue on the product that seems to never ever come off. No matter what solvent you may try to use, that spot is always sticky. Pisses me right off. People who listen to music on their phone in public without using headphones. I ask them to turn it off every time it happens somewhere I have to be for any length of time, and without fail, the person doing it acts as if I'm the one being unreasonable. Try doing this in a major city. You will die. This is exactly the only place I see people ballsy enough to tell the wannabe DJs to knock it off. People leaving shopping carts in the parking lot. The other day I see some asshat just leave his cart in the space next to his car, so I walked over and moved his cart so it was directly behind his car, forcing him to get out and move it again. Okay, so I actually just angrily grabbed the cart and pushed it into the cart corral in a huff, but I totally thought about leaving it behind his car. My husband actually did this once. We had our 6-month-old son with us and had parked at the back of the cart corral. I guess people were too lazy to go around and started leaving their carts in the empty spot beside us. As we're walking back to the car, me with the baby strapped to my chest, him pushing a cart full of stuff, we watch as this woman walks up and just leaves her cart right beside the passenger door. My husband calmly says, "Excuse me, can you move that?" But she starts walking away back to her car. Now he was clearly sleep deprived and stressed, and this small act of rudeness just pushed him over the edge. He grabbed 2 carts, walked to where her car was parked, and before she got the chance to start backing out, he placed the carts right behind her car and walked away. People who don't use their turn signal. People who put on their turn signal as they're turning and not before. When people use the microwave, remove their food before the time has expired and then don't clear the time remaining. double asshole points when they leave the microwave door open. I work in a kitchen at a resort, and our office staff come in and use the microwave. So many of them leave the damn door open, it's amazing. I bet the microwave doors at their houses are shut tight. Occasionally, I keep the microwave door open to clear the odor from the food. Then again, I live alone, so what do I know? Clipping your nails in public, especially in any enclosed area like an airplane. People aren't that oblivious, surely? Once sat next to a dude on a plane who started clipping his toenails, next to a 9-year-old girl, me. I just stared horrified for a minute, then quickly paged the attendant, who immediately guessed what my issue was and told the guy he had to go do that sort of thing in the restroom once the seatbelt restriction was off. I would have politely asked him to stop, but since he was gross and rude enough to do that in public to begin with, I figured I might get a bad response, so I just let the adults handle him. Those little stickers on fruit. Hate them. Also, when thrift stores staple the price tags onto leather goods, right onto the leather. Also, stickers on kitchen utensils and tools. Like, what, on the blade itself? Not even the handle? Inside the bowl? And if you want to show your brand, you have to stick it on part of the plate where I put my food? I'm not from the US, by the way, so you may have some regulations against these, but man, this just doesn't make any sense. I once bought this lovely bamboo cutting board and had a giant sticker wrapped around it. No matter what I did, there was sticky crap on both sides of it forever. I'm getting kind of mad thinking about it. When there are no lines painted in a row of car parking spaces, but it's clearly big enough for 3 cars and either one or both idiots park in a way that a third car won't fit. I'm on the same vein. When something like this is done for street parking, 2 cars taking what could easily be 3 spots is infuriating. People who don't flush, and people that piss all over the toilet seat and just leave it there. If you sprinkle when you tinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seaty. Customers who pay in cash out of their bra or pants pocket and the bills are all folded and wadded up. One bill has been ripped and taped back together, and they lay the money as far to the side of the counter as possible, so I have to reach over their 5 bottles of assorted cleaning chemicals to get it. Want to make sure your cashier doesn't hate you? Here's how. Get a wallet or money clip, flatten out all of your bills, hand them to me. How about people who throw their bills across the counter at you instead of handing them over, and some of the money goes flying off the counter and you have to pick it up off the floor? Jesus Christ, everyone who's ever come into my store, just hand me the money and quit throwing it at me like I'm a B-Squad stripper. When I was maybe 15, I was buying a fountain soda at a convenience store. I handed the cashier my money and he stopped to thank me for actually handing it to him. He said I was the first customer all day who hasn't tossed my money on the counter at him. It made quite an impression. That was 15 years ago, and I still always hand my payments to the cashier. I also make sure to make eye contact, smile at them, and thank them at the end of the transaction. I like to think that it makes a tiny difference in their day. Maybe I'm overly optimistic and creepy, who knows? Inconsistent formatting. 1. A sign at my university is in all caps apart from one line. 2. People who leave a space before their comma, like this. 2. People who don't count the numbers in their lists, like this. Why does this happen? Who taught 10 to 20% of the population to do this? Slow people in the fast lane, especially on a 2-lane highway. The limit is 130, and in the left lane, most go 140 or something. You're passing with 110, making me slam my brakes because you just had to pass right when I was coming up. It took me a minute to realize you're obviously not talking about miles per hour. For a second there, I just thought you were metal AF and drove at breakneck speeds. Turn your lights on when you're driving in the rain, and don't turn your brights on when you're driving in fog. Not covering your damn mouth when you cough or sneeze. I always use my elbow, but now every time I sneeze or cough, someone yells, "Dab!" One day I will get a fatal and contagious disease and purposefully not cover my mouth when I cough or sneeze, so I can watch them die slowly with me. Unexpected phone calls or doorbells. I hate being called if I don't know the number, and I hate when the doorbells ring and I have no idea what it could be. Instantly sinks my stomach and annoys me. Are you my dog? When a stoplight turns green and it takes people more than a second to start moving. Also, when a sticker won't easily come off. You know what I'm talking about. The ones that no matter how you peel, just rip and leave a bunch of sticker crap residue all over your thing. Yeah, I had this neighbor who would leave for work around the same time as me every morning. There's a small stoplight on the way out of the neighborhood where it was always just me and him coming out, no other cars. Almost every morning, he'd honk at me the second the light turned green, even when I was already going. Finally, the next time he did it, I sat there and waited and looked back at him and made eye contact and waited. He stopped honking at me after that. When I let someone in because they were dumb while driving, and I don't get so much as a wave. Ungrateful bastards. Where's my thank you wave? Hi, how are you? Pack of Marlboro Reds. Ah, I too have worked as a gas station clerk. Or the infamous, can I get $5 on my pump? Oh yes, I watched you come in here and I know which car is yours and which pump you're at. Thanks, you can leave now. Or, can I get 20 on the white truck? There are 4 white trucks out there, sir. My toddler. Why does he have to get up at 6 a.m. and paint the bathroom with toothpaste? Because if he doesn't do it, who else is going to? I pictured a little kid with a frustrated look on his face, smearing toothpaste on the counters and mumbling, I'm the only one in this house that does anything useful. I can't stop laughing. Send help. YouTube videos that use the artificial voice thing. What about the ones that always start, hey there guys and girls, it's me again, your boy the YouTube phenomenon. Before we get started, can I get you to like and subscribe to all my videos and channel? Geez, that's annoying. Then there are the 3-minute videos with opening and closing theme songs. Loud pickup trucks revving and gunning it. My house is less soundproof than a microphone, and my next door neighbor's kid has a very, very loud, very, very modded truck. Sometimes, and by that I mean 2 times a week or so, he'll just sit in their driveway for 30 minutes or so and just rev the engine, see how loud he can get it. I hate that boy, and I've never met him. I'm going to order you a "My mother says she wishes I would have been a BJ" bumper sticker to slap on his truck. When some young aggressive mothers use their babies in pushchairs to force traffic to let them across the road. Yeah, I know it's busy and difficult to cross, but hey, that's a human being you've got there. You need to stop that. Back in my country, we just stop the traffic with our hand. Just raise them a bit and the cars will avoid you or stop. There's a joke about it. Those people who got hit by a car while crossing the street, that's because they didn't use their power of hand. I'm in Central Europe now. I only need to stand at the zebra line to get the car to stop. I feel so powerful. When I'm watching a movie I like with friends after I recommended it, and they are on their phones within the first 5 minutes before even giving it a chance. Double bonus points if they say then 10 minutes into the movie, I don't get the point of this movie after paying 0 attention. My favorite is when my girlfriend insists that she can multitask by playing on her phone and watching something and then asks me to explain something or says that was dumb. Or God forbid we're watching something for the first time and she goes, wait, what's going to happen? Like, I don't know. I haven't seen this either. I get a call from some company or whatever, a collections call, salesperson, doesn't matter, and I hear, please hold while we connect you to the next available representative. I immediately hang up. If you're calling me and using my time and expect me to wait, screw you. If you can't call me and be there on the other end when I pick up, don't call me at all. I freaking hate this too. Why should I have to hold when you called me? I always hang up. When I can't find something I'm looking for, nothing throws me into a rage faster than wasting time looking for something I need. And it's not even like, well then keep your crap organized, because it'll be something that I know should have been somewhere and isn't. When people hush their conversation to a murmur when you walk by them. I know you're talking about me, damn it. Or absolutely stop talking when you get into the room. When you're washing your face with long sleeves and the water runs down your arms. When you wake up next to a drool spot and accidentally put your cheek on it while you're still trying to relax. Get any amount of water on your sock. When you put on a black shirt and accidentally leave deodorant marks on the outside. When you don't cancel the microwave in time and it proceeds to beep 5 times no matter what you do. When you're running late and your car is covered in frost or ice. When you're trying to take a nap, and just as you're dozing off, someone tries to get your attention from a different room. And when you don't respond, they call again. What? When your music gets interrupted for any reason. When your shirt gets wrinkled from sitting down. Switching into power saver mode. My blood pressure just went up a little after reading this. When my boyfriend takes out the trash but never replaces the trash bag. It's like stopping mid-chore. You need to replace the bag, damn it. Psh, It's called teamwork. One team member takes out the trash and the other team member puts it back in. What are you, not a team player or something? You need more light in this room. It's dark. Mom proceeds to pull the window blinds. I've always wondered why people think it's just cool to take it upon themselves to go, you need to prefer or change this, and then acts on it. Like, what? Why? Who actually does this? People who don't show the slightest bit of urgency to get out of the way when they are walking in a parking lot. I don't expect you to run, but don't look at me like I owe you something. That's just rude. This is every student on a college campus. We all want you to hit us so that you can pay our tuition, or at least kill us so we don't have to go to class anymore. I love dogs, but I absolutely hate when a dog watches me eat something. I get that it's just kind of their thing, but I can't stand it. On the plus side, my roommate's dog knows what frick off means now. My dog climbs up on my shoulder. When I try to get him off, he slides down my back and then I have to get up because he's stuck between my back and the chair. People on public transit need 2 seats, one for them and one for their bag. I think this is fine unless the place gets full. Whenever I catch a bus or train, it's never busy, so then I do it. Same, I like to sit by myself so long it's not hindering anyone. Plus it makes it really easy to access the stuff in the said bag. Putting the $sign after the amount, like this, $50, like an absolute monster instead of before it, $50, like a productive member of society, annoys me percent 100 of the time. When someone tells me or reminds me to do something right as I am about to do it, or when I'm already doing it. Coworker, hey, don't forget to get those papers filed by the end of the day. Me, what do you think this stack of papers I'm carrying is? Fodder for paper mache? SO, remember to take out the trash. Me, thanks, hon. I didn't know what I was going to do with this plastic bag filled with refuse. Hell, if you didn't tell me what to do, I probably would have dumped it all over our bed. Glad we dodged that bullet. SO again. Hey, can you go wash the dishes? Me with soapy hands. Well, I mean I can since I've got this sink full of water already, but it'll have to wait until I am done playing with my rubber ducky. I mean, I get it. I can't expect people to know what I am doing if I don't tell them. But it's just relentless. Honestly, I feel like everyone around me thinks that I forget everything at the drop of a hat, or that I can't remember my own name without someone reminding me. I'm a grown, responsible man. I know what needs to get done. Get off my back. Someone is riding my ass, passes me, and runs into one of the following scenarios. Gets stuck behind the car that was slowing me down. Proceeds to get stuck at the red light I was slowing for in the distance, then fails to accelerate when the light actually turns green. Cuts me off and goes 10 miles under the speed limit. Also people that blast past me in whiteout or dense fog conditions. I wish you a solo accident to punish you, and no one else, for your absolute reckless stupidity. Love when people try to pass obnoxiously when they can't see the cars in front slowing me down. I always make sure there isn't space for them to get in, so they are stuck right beside me and then I stare at them for at least 10 seconds until they notice. The shape of deodorant containers makes it so the slightest movement makes them fall over. It only gets worse as the deodorant gets used and becomes even more top-heavy. I never thought about this until now, and instantaneously I'm furious. When the cream cheese is too cold and won't spread easily on a bagel, that crap drives me up the wall. Thanks for watching until the end. If you have a similar experience that you'd like to share, we'd love to hear about it in the comment section below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and stop by the channel to check out another amazing video.